Welcome to The Secret Place with Steffa, Bennett. Devotions for hungry hearts and searching souls.
Hey, we're talking about soul care today in The Secret Place. This is Steffa, and I'm so glad you're back. We've been talking about caring for not just our body, but for our soul. And I talked to you last time about journaling, and then I started thinking about it more. I thought maybe, I'd take like a big vulnerable step out into YouTube land here with you for those of you who listen and share a little bit of my journal with you. This is really recent. One of the things that I've been doing, if you don't keep growing, you start dying. And so I'm at the age where I've never stopped growing, and I don't want to. I'm not ready to stop growing. So I've been investigating some of the things that kind of have tailored or made my personality what it is. Kind of the goofy, silly, moody sometimes, and also very serious cookie that I am. I probably don't come off that way in this video, but I've been a very, remember that old commercial, like a pea cream, a very serious cookie. And so I've been investigating some things from my childhood to try to remember where I let go of that fun, loving, bubbly, innocent little child. And this is a big deal for me because I don't do this. I just go on. It's like, okay, if there's problems, if there's pain, if there's something I want to forget, I deal with it. I deal with it quickly. Talk to the Lord about it. Maybe I'll talk to a friend about it or my spouse, my husband. And then I go on because it's like I don't have time, and I don't think we have time to waste to living in the past. And that's been my MO. But as helpful as that's been to me, and as I think healthy as that is in many, many ways, one of the things that's it backfires is that I have things that I haven't dealt with. And so I've been looking, I was thinking, what do I remember from my childhood? And I had all kinds of childhood memories come up, and fun things like picking mulberries with my cousins and my brothers and sisters, and, the beach club, and just riding the waves, and holding on to the ropes on the pier and trying not to get swept away by the waves, and all kinds of mildly risky things that I did that were fun and that were part of, some people call the soul child. I just call my inner little girl, And so I was on a plane the other day, and I started a little exercise because I'm really trying to be intentional about practicing what I preach and going back and dealing with stuff instead of, and continuing journaling instead of just like carrying on, and just staying in this very serious, academic place that I've been in for 20 plus years. And so I wrote down as many memories as I could from each age. Didn't get me, I spent about 2 hours on it. And there was this one, I thought, you know what, let me read that to you. It'd probably be telling, and I'm still unpacking what it means, but I just want to give you my heart and a little example of trying to be brave so that maybe it can help you be brave to do something similar and not be afraid of uncovering feelings that you have to deal with. So here goes. Okay, so I was talking about riding my bike, and my purple Columbia bike, where my 10-speed I rode all over. It was my first bike ever, and I just loved it. And then I said this. Well, when I wasn't on my bike, I sometimes would wander behind my yard into the big woods and cautiously traipse through the heavy trees and shrubbery. Mom said it was okay to eat the wild raspberries and blackberries from the bushes. They were so juicy and fresh. Deep in the woods behind our yard, I often looked at the downed tree that was there in the distance. It was a very large tree that had fallen in such a way that it rested above the ground about a foot or two, and then it turned distinctly upward. I used to call this, I would think I was 10 or 11, I used to call this the New Jersey Turnpike. And on days that I felt particularly brave, I would go and I would make my way through the shrubbery and the the downed branches and the burrs, and I would go and I would sit on that tree trunk, and I would ponder life as a little girl. What's this all about? What would I do when I grew up and became a mom? That was always in my mind. Would I still go for walks and find my way in the woods? Would I write stories? Would I turn out pretty? I was such an awkward looking kid. Oftentimes I never entered the woods behind our house, even though I enjoyed it so much and I enjoyed that reflection time, because I was afraid of what I might find there. I mean, I remember thinking, what if the Jersey Devil really hid in those woods? And what if a bear jumped out of hibernation and came after me? I didn't know there were no bears in that part of the state. I stood on the side of the dirt road often, just outside of that untamed wood, and I would watch as the sun spilled luxuriously upon the greenery, wishing that I was brave enough to go sit on that tree. Well, yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I think I must have been 10 or 9 even, maybe. And just kind of coming into a sense of self, a sense of who I was in the world, not sure of the world, not sure of myself. Anyway, thinking back on that, I remember then going to junior high school and being a little older, 12 and 13 and so, and hearing a song, I think it was by Doris Day. And it was so intriguing because the singer was singing exactly how I remember feeling when I was little. It was, when I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Remember this song? Que sera, sera. Well, anyway, I remember hearing that in junior high. It was a very uncool song. It wasn't the cool stuff that was playing. But it intrigued me because I thought, there's someone out there who's thinking the same way that I am. Like, what is the future going to bring? What is it going to be like? Will I do something important? Will I make a difference in the world? Will I be safe? And going back to think about those things is becoming important for me. Not just because I'm getting older and I'm getting further away from those times, but because I continue to learn and I continue to grow, not just for myself, but on behalf of my students, to try to help them put a finger on their self-awareness and come to a fuller understanding of themselves. And any exercises I ask them to do, I try to do too. But in this whole process, I'm really learning that I put that little girl away. I never stopped wondering, and I never stopped being curious, okay. But, a lot of that tentativeness of wishing I was brave and could just go, running and leaping into the wood and sit on that wonderful tree with the beautiful lilacs around me and all kinds of beautiful nature, but not feeling brave enough. Like, what if there was a snake? I realize I've kind of taken that attitude with me my whole life, and I'm just starting to try to break out. And how do we break out after 50 years or more of living a certain way with certain kind of subconscious preconceived notions of life and a framework? I don't know. I'm on a process. I'm on a journey, and I'm just doing it little by little. Like I told you 2 or 3 weeks ago, trying new things, purple nail polish, crazy impractical shoes. I'm starting to wear pink more. You think, what? Pink, it's just a color. Yeah, well, black, brown, navy for many, many years. That's the business attire. That's the academic attire. That's what I need to wear. The past 2 years, I've been really breaking out of that. And now I'm into pinks, which I never thought I would be. And I never liked. I always thought, what a flighty color. Trust me, if you wore pink and you wear pink and you're my friend or your family, I don't judge you. These are just kind of crazy, deep little things in me. So I want to say, have courage. have courage to be who you are, to go deeper into that beautiful depth of your being that maybe you haven't thought about in a while. And maybe it will start with just thinking about some childhood things. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a comment or a thought, even if you think this is a kooky secret place video today, you never know what you're going to get when you come here, right? You might get something as wonderful as Bonhoeffer or Guion or Nuon, or you might just kind of get a little reminiscing from Steffa. Either way, I'm glad you're here. And I hope that you'll share this video, these messages with your friends or anyone you think might enjoy it. I really am happy that you've come. Please leave a comment if you can and tell me a little bit about your process and how you do your life. Okay, in the meantime, have a wonderful day. And think about journaling. Bless you. Bye-bye.
Breathe, listen, and receive. Take a moment to soak it all in. Until next time.